A late fall storm whipping up winds across the Midwest and right here in central Ohio. Good evening. I'm Dwayne Pullman.
And I'm Ellie Merritt. We have live team weather coverage for you tonight. Our Storm Team 4 meteorologists, Dave Mazza and Ben Gelber, are both tracking the storm.
And our reporters are all over this. Beth Del Pani, Renee LaSalle, Rick Reitzel, all checking on those conditions across central Ohio. But let's begin with that all-important forecast. Dave, the wind is dying down, but that chill is definitely still here.
Yeah, you said it. The winds are starting to relax. You notice on Live Viper radar this evening, that system that came through overnight, that is pushed off towards the east. But behind it, we are continuing to see those very gusty winds. The good news is, though, wind advisories have been canceled for us here in Columbus. Also in Delaware County, wind advisories have been canceled this evening. That doesn't mean the wind is gone completely, but the winds are starting to relax a touch. We've got 16-mile-an-hour winds here in the city, 25 in Marysville and in Marion, and about 22 right now in Newark. Wind gusts are still into the 30s this evening, so if you're getting out and about or you're going to be traveling somewhere this evening, you're still going to have a little bit of those gusts kind of pushing your vehicle on the roads, especially the high-profile vehicles for the next couple of hours. I do expect the winds to continue to relax a bit during the overnight hours. For those under the wind advisories, they expire in about 2 hours. Winds will be returning during the day on Friday morning into the afternoon hours. They won't be quite as strong as today, but there is going to be a noticeable chill settling in tomorrow and for the weekend as well. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. First, I want to head over to Ben Gelber, who's going to explain what caused these winds to really just rock us today, Ben.
Yeah, Dave, we often talk about the gales of November. This is the time when very cold air comes down from Canada and meets up with warm air from the south. And those are the ingredients that clash that can set up some very, very strong winds, because that's what influences the storm. Now, we can track these storms all the way from Colorado to the Great Lakes, where they intensify as cold and warm air collide, generating the fierce winds. Cold air arriving down from Canada pulls down hurricane-force winds from, say, a mile above the ground, and we quickly get 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts as low pressure spins across the Great Lakes. Now, as that low begins to pull away from the lakes, these are current wind gusts now. 32 miles per hour at Port Columbus, 37 miles per hour at Marion, 29 at Mount Vernon, all out of the southwest, farther away from the storm. Chillicothe and Athens have slightly lighter winds. You can see in the metro area, too, some of the strongest winds continue to be north of I-70. You see the winds change as we speak, as we get the instantaneous update. Winds will slowly diminish through the evening hours into the 15 to 25 mile per hour range. But one thing we'll be tracking tomorrow also will be an uptick in winds again during the day. Winds in the morning 10 to 20. They'll be bouncing back up, Ellie and Dwayne, to the 30 to 35 mile per hour range tomorrow afternoon.
All right, Ben, thank you. Well, the skies really turned dark early this afternoon as that storm system moved in.
And the wind caused some power outages as well. A utility pole was damaged on the northeast side. NBC4's Beth Del Pani is live in that area with more on the power problems. Beth.
Crews were out here certainly bright and early. Here's the brand new pole that they ended up putting in here at Minnesota here in McGuffey. This is on the northeast side, so a brand new utility pole after it was damaged. I spoke with a resident who lives across the street. He tells me he saw this snap in half. He's just glad it wasn't this large pine tree in front of his home, but this certainly wasn't the only spot around town getting repairs. Power crews had their work cut out for them today around central Ohio. South Galloway Road in West Columbus had to be shut down for over 3 hours this morning near Old Irish Drive, while power crews had to fix a supersized power pole that split after high winds blew through the area. Here on the east side on Dale Avenue, more repairs to power lines. Residents here say they lost their electricity for a while. At one point this morning, approximately 2,900 AEP customers were without power in northeast and northwest portions of Franklin County. 1,000 of those customers were in Blendon Township. Just got off the phone with an AEP representative, AEP Ohio that is, and those numbers are improving. However, still 3,900 customers throughout the entire state of Ohio without power. Right here in central Ohio, that number's at 700, 500 of those in Blendon Township, as I mentioned earlier. So it went from 1,000 households without down to 500. So certainly they're moving in the right direction. For now, though, live on the northeast side, Beth Del Pani, NBC4.
I'm sure those power crews are going to be busy all night. Thanks, Beth. Our crews were busy as well, heading north today as wind caused utility problems and gusts even set off some home alarms in Marion and Crawford counties. Some trees and limbs down, including a tree that dropped on Hillborn Avenue in the village of Tyro. A gust toppled a large limb onto a telephone line in a mailbox. The homeowner there, Hazel Stewart, says she's just glad no one got hurt.
I come down on the telephone line and messed up my mailbox. I probably got to buy a new mailbox now. And thank God nobody went to the mailbox to see if there was mail.
Stewart says the phone company told her she'll have to wait until Monday for repairs there.
High winds often whip through downtown Columbus. It's like a tunnel between the buildings. Team coverage continues tonight with NBC4's Renee LaSalle. And Renee, how are the winds down there right now?
Ellie, that wind advisory may be through, but the wind is still blowing in downtown. In fact, we just measured wind speeds, that is, above 15 miles an hour. But earlier this afternoon, we were even more than 33 miles an hour. Folks in downtown will tell you when that wind is blowing, it's going to cut right through.
Turns out the wind is very windy today.
It's extremely windy, yeah.
Whipping street signs, bending trees, and giving folks in downtown a chill. That November wind was blowing.
It's cold. The wind is crazy.
Again and again, folks stopped to weigh in.
Oh my gosh, it's way too windy out here. It almost blew away.
Friends Julia White and Gail Pierce struggled with a gust or two and had a suggestion on how to deal.
Try to stay warm. Try not to get a job where you have to be out here asking people how to stay warm.
But maybe Matt Wovrish said it best.
I kind of feel like we should get a day off of work to fly kites or something like that.
Doesn't sound like a bad idea. I tell you what, flying a kite might have been kind of fun today. All of these winds, they may be lighter, but they're still bringing a chill. The feels-like temperatures here in downtown are less than 50 degrees. Reporting live, Renee LaSalle, NBC4.
Oh, yes. Get ready for the chill, everybody. We'll have continuing coverage all night of the wind and the cold. I tell you, that's what to worry about now. Stay with us on air and online at NBC4i.com to see our live Viper radar.